So there's a lot of information out there saying the Freemasons are evil, secret societies are evil, the controllers are evil, but I've been thinking, is that by design? To make you ignore the symbolism and miss its true meaning? I mean, think about this. If we have free will and we allow the system to tell us that we live in a cartoon reality in the digital world on a spinning ball and we won't fall off the ball, but we'd somehow fall off a flat surface. And they give us a bunch of news stories that are tragic but aren't even authentic. And at the same time, they tell us that the news is fake. I mean, we know every news anchor is reading from a teleprompter. We know the system is basically designed to teach us how to work within their system. Get older, get a job, pay bills. And if everybody agrees to that, then how are the controllers the bad guys? I mean, that's what I'm wrestling with now. I mean, they give you the good and the bad. They give you the truth and they give you the lie. It's up to you to decide for yourself what you're gonna do with that information. Because look, they aren't forcing anybody to do anything. Because if I wanted to, I could go live in the woods. I could live off the land. Nobody has to do anything. People do the things they do because that's what they want to do. It's almost like this is the proving grounds. And they've created a system where if you just believe everything they say and you allow yourself to be programmed, even though the Bible tells you to test all things and hold fast to what is true, then you misunderstood. If you believe the propaganda and don't resonate with the truth, then that's on you. But too many people just get into this game where they find people to blame, pointing fingers at everywhere but their self. And those people are no different than people who are selling a product. You know, they say their product is the best and they want to make money off you, and if there's another product that's better, they're not going to just tell you. So how can you say they're evil? They're just doing their job in that case. You have to figure it out for yourself. I mean, you could follow the money if you want. You could do your own research. They told you, seek and you shall find. They told you the truth shall set you free, which I say all the time. How much more clear can it get? It's right in your face. The fact that you've chosen to believe the lie instead of the truth is not on them, because the truth is self-selective. The truth is invisible to those who are programmed, and it's a genius system. And if you want more on that, you can watch my last video, but I'm going to get a little more into this. They want you trapped in this physical material reality, but you don't have to be trapped. And when you realize how powerful you are as a sovereign human, then you realize why the truth has been encoded and self-selective to filter out people who would be dangerous or could be dangerous if they knew the truth. I mean, think about it, especially when it's about energy and electricity. You know, you can't just teach everybody that stuff. And once you understand you're a conscious field interacting with other conscious fields, that reality responds to observation and intention. That you're running on the same geometric template as the cosmos, that you're an individual torus field interfaced with the universal field, that consciousness is primary and matter is secondary. You become incredibly powerful when you realize that we are all just beings of light, human, light man, dangerously powerful if we use it the wrong way. Not shoot lightning from your hands powerful, but collapse reality according to your will powerful. And that is powerful when you have control over your reality. You don't fall for their games anymore. Now, imagine if someone with ego unchecked, malicious intent, no wisdom, no restraint, victim mentality, if they weaponized desire for revenge. Imagine they had access to this understanding. Imagine if they knew their consciousness literally shapes their local reality. That thought and intention create field interactions, the geometric principles governing manifestation, how to interface with the cosmic operating system. They would be a danger to themselves and everyone around them. Not because knowledge itself is evil, but because they aren't ready to wield it responsibly. So that's why I think the truth protects itself through filtering. It only reveals itself to those who have humility and can admit when they're wrong, the patience and willingness to do the work, the curiosity, the genuine seeking, the restraint to not misuse the power, and the wisdom to understand the consequences, the service orientation, and not allow it to dominate them. It filters out those who have arrogance. They think they already know. Impatience and wanting shortcuts and wanting to protect their ego over truth, the malicious intent and recklessness, they don't consider the consequences. That's a domination mindset to control others. This isn't gatekeeping. This is cosmic safety protocol. This is what I'm wrestling with. And I'm trying to understand things from all perspectives. I'm not trying to just jump on board and say, hey, these people are evil, so, forget them. I try to put myself in their shoes. I don't want to just take an initial thought that I have or take something I heard somewhere and just run with it without considering all the alternatives and all the possibilities. Because if you think about it, we're all walking around, we're free, it's not really dangerous, we're not in any danger, we're living a life and we have free will, I mean, if these people were actually evil, nothing's stopping them from putting us in concentration camps and forcing us into labor, nothing's stopping them from putting us all into prison, just forcing us to do the work in order to live in the prison and giving us the littlest bit possible. I mean, we do have freedom. We do have that ability to build a happy lifestyle and experience great experiences, So, I mean, they can't be that evil. Although I think that there's a lot of misuse of the funds, but I feel like in the end, when it all is said and done, we're all going to find out why everything was the way it was. And it's just going to be like, we're going to understand. We're going to say, that's why. That's why they couldn't just give us the truth. For us to know everything about energy and the ionosphere and Wi-Fi, wireless energy, and create a system where everything's free and everything's fun, and that's just too easy, and this is the proving grounds, in my opinion. It's possible that the so-called controllers aren't keeping you down. They could just be keeping dangerous people out of the knowledge, out of the power, out of the understanding, knowing that some people might figure it out along the way, and creating a system that filters automatically. If you believe the propaganda, you stay powerless safely. If you seek the truth, you gain power, deservedly. If you blame others, you remain a victim. You have no access to power. If you take responsibility, you become sovereign. Your access can be granted. But if you want simple answers, you get fed lies. It's a protective barrier. If you embrace the complexity, you discover truth. It's earned access. The system isn't broken. It's not broken at all. The system is designed this way. It has to be. Think about it. To protect cosmic level power from those who would abuse it, once you understand you're a sovereign consciousness, you can't be controlled through fear. Fear is just a field state. You can't be manipulated through propaganda. You test all things. You hold fast to what is true. You can't be trapped in the victim mentality when you know that you're the creator. You can't be sold false solutions. You understand the real mechanism. That in itself makes you powerful. I mean, you could become ungovernable, not in a rebel without a cause type of way, but in a sovereign field operating consciously type of way. And if everybody suddenly became ungovernable, the entire control system would collapse. I mean, it would be chaos everywhere. Not because the control system is evil, because it's no longer necessary, because it's complete anarchy. So we kind of need this structure. You know, the training wheels come off when you learn to ride. So I'm trying to understand why secret societies exist, and it makes sense that they're not hiding the truth to keep you powerless. They're encoding the truth to protect it from those who would misuse it. And the symbols are everywhere. Freemasonry, Rosicrucians, Hermetic Order, the mystery schools. You can look all this stuff up. They all teach the same core truth. You are divine. You are powerful. You are sovereign. Reality responds to you. But they encode it. Because just handing that knowledge to somebody unprepared is like handing a loaded gun, pow pow, to a toddler. Not because guns are evil, because toddlers lack the wisdom to use them safely. So, here's the paradox. They want you to figure it out, just not before you're ready. They want the symbols to be in plain sight. That's why the clues are everywhere. That's why seek and y'all shall find is the literal instruction. They're not hiding it. They're filtering access to those who have demonstrated humility to seek, patience to learn, wisdom to understand, and restraint to use responsibly. The truth is self-selective, not to keep people down, but to keep dangerous people from accessing power that they're not equipped to wield. Do you want dangerous people having that kind of power? Once you understand you're a sovereign consciousness operating in a field-based reality, everything changes. You stop being that victim. You stop blaming others. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You're responsible for yourself. You're accountable. You start creating your reality intentionally, with intentionality. You start interfacing with the field consciously. You start operating as the divine, being who you really are. And you become dangerous, not to others, to the control system, because you no longer need it. You no longer participate. You've graduated, especially if you tell others, you know? So, you always have to remember that the truth is esoteric. And if everybody knows something, it's probably something that you need to re-examine whether or not it's true. There's things everybody knows that are true, but there's a lot of things everybody knows that are not true at all. But what do you even do with this information? Do you use it to feel superior to others? Failed, you're ego-driven. Or do you weaponize it to control people? Failed, malicious intent. Do you hoard it to maintain an advantage? Failed, scarcity mindset. Do you demand recognition for knowing? Failed, seeking validation. Or do you share it with those ready to receive it? Passed, you're providing a service. You use it to free yourself from fear. Passed, that's a sovereignty. You apply it with wisdom and restraint. Passed, that's responsibility. You help others find their own path to truth. You passed, that's your compassion. The truth watches how you handle it, even after you find it, even after you understand it. Your attitude determines whether you keep access or you lose it. They want you trapped in material reality, under their control, but you don't have to be. It's always going to be your choice, because you have free will. You're a sovereign consciousness operating in a physical vehicle in a field-based reality. You are powerful beyond measure. But they're not going to just tell you that. You have to figure it out for yourself. And that's why the truth has to be encoded. Not to keep you down, but to keep dangerous people from accessing power before they're ready to wield it. or wield it responsibly. Are they going to wield it responsibly? Not if they're evil. So you can't say the controllers are evil. They're guards protecting cosmic power from those who would misuse it. And the truth is self-selective. It only reveals itself to those who seek with humility, learn with patience, understand with wisdom, apply with restraint, and share with compassion. And if you're hearing this and you understand it, congratulations. Seriously. Because you passed the filter. Now, what will you do with your power? That's the real test. Because if you're not going to do what's right, and you're going to use it, that's going to create a disadvantage for humanity, then I'm telling you, the truth will blind you and send you in the wrong direction. This is a self-filtering, self-perpetuating process where you have to stay tuned into the positive frequencies in order to experience the gift of discernment. Dusty Truth, signing out.